Hey folks, and welcome to the Daily Ratings Podcast. It's a show where each week we're going to be sitting down with Vincent Daly to get his thoughts on the latest movies he's been watching, both older films and new releases. And don't worry, there's no spoilers. Vince will give a brief review of the movie, share some thoughts, and of course, then rate the film. The daily ratings are always fair, honest, and most importantly, they're consistent. On today's show, Vince will be rating and reviewing. We have 3 new releases here for you folks. So we've got Leviticus, and that's directed by Adrian Chiarella. We then have The Death of Robin Hood by Michael Sarnowski. And finally, the big one in the week, or the big one of the week, it's Supergirl, and that's directed by Craig Gillespie. So we'll get Vincent Daly in the room, hear what he's got to say about these movies. Stay tuned and enjoy the show. Mr. Vincent Daly, how are we doing across the table, my friend?
Thomas, how's it going?
Okay, we've recovered from the Toy Story episode, and you were at the movies 3 times this weekend.
I was. It's a good old new movie week.
Was it tough to find any of these, Leviticus and Death of Robin Hood, or were they pretty available?
Yeah, Death of Robin Hood was very close to getting knocked out. In fact, like only one showing time each day. Yeah.
I can't say it was doing very well.
It really was, and I'll talk about it when we get into that review of just like, it's a shame it was Death on Arrival with that.
Yeah. He did some press for it too, but yeah. I don't know what it was. Low budget, small studio, I think. I don't know.
No, it's A24. So it's like, weird. Weird how they seem to be kind of ditching it a little bit.
It does seem like that.
You know? Especially when, like, Sarnowski, kind of their boy, you know?
Well, it was getting, I remember when they teased it, started to get excited for it, like, last year. And then I don't know, I think some early, they dish it out to, like, select people.
Yep.
And it just wasn't getting great reviews back, so I think they just quietly almost just put it out. I'm still curious in this movie.
Yeah.
And I've got interest in it. I like Hugh Jackman. I like Hugh Jackman in this role. And I'm highly curious in the director, Sarnowski.
Yes, exactly.
So.
Exactly. Leviticus, the kind of the same thing, just more so it's the director's first debut, so a little hard to see.
Okay.
And I just feel like we're just in, even though this week, even the next 2 weeks, we might have like big blockbusters. That real estate is being eaten up by the blockbusters that have come out in last month, and them kind of preparing for the wave of Nolan's Odyssey. So
the plan, though, that we wanted to make it a Hugh Jackman week. Almost, because we were just going to do The Sheep Detective. He's got 2 new movies out, kind of. So, like The Sheep Detectives, which was in theaters up until very, very recently.
Yep, and has kind of gained like a cult following.
It has, and it's actually playing in theaters still. It's just they were a little bit too far for us to go catch. But then we couldn't go see it, so you said, okay, I'm going to watch Leviticus, because it was kind of on your list anyway. And then right away, this Friday, I saw, boom, Sheep Detectives, free on Prime for everyone to watch. And I was like, damn it.
I know.
But we'll circle back around with that one.
Yeah. Either that might be something that we pair with next week, or just kind of add to the list. Another one that is missing from this possible new movie week was an action movie called The Furious, which has, once again, kind of been getting a lot of cult following to it that will definitely be on my hit list to try to get to before end of the year.
Okay,
so
some catch-up stuff. All right, well, any opening notes at all? I think I have one trailer talk.
Oh, really?
I really do try to stay away from trailers.
Okay.
And the only way I watch trailers these days is when they're just shoved to you before we see a movie together.
Yeah.
However, I did seek out and search and look and watch The Digger.
Yes!
With Alejandro Gianarritu, Tom Cruise movie coming up in October.
That makes sense. You were like super, super hyped for this.
I am, and I gotta be honest with you. I watched the trailer for Digger, and I'm in.
Yeah?
People are worried about it. People are just like, oh, we don't know how it's going to be. This is Tom Cruise. It's just like, there's zero stakes to this film. If there's no franchise, we don't need to do any backstory. It's nothing. It's a great director. It's Tom Cruise doing something new. If it's bad, it's bad. If it's bad, okay. But
I don't think it has a chance to be bad. I think it has a chance to be maybe a little weird.
I'm very interested. It will be weird.
Yeah, because Inarritu is already kind of a surreal type of director, you know.
And what are they calling it? They're calling it not an outlandish comedy.
Yes.
Or a comedy of catastrophic proportions or something like that.
Yep.
And did you watch it by chance?
Yeah.
I'm excited.
I am too. I'm in the position of like, I really don't know what to expect necessarily, even after watching this.
Yes, which I like.
But I'm in your corner. I'm rooting for this. I'm definitely rooting for both Cruz and
Inarritu. Yeah.
Inarritu especially.
So that was my trailer talk. Kind of psyched on that. And if it's bad, it's bad. It's not like my heart's not going to be ripped out.
That's a good point.
And it's something nice it's nice.
Yeah. Yeah,
like
I wish I had that mentality with the Odyssey.
I was going to say there's weight to the Odyssey. It is leaning heavy in this room, but with this, it doesn't matter.
Yeah. No, I feel you.
Any opening notes for you over there?
No, not really. I try to work in I'm always trying to work in like a little hook to the episode titles. This one is a good, the bad, and the ugly in the sense that we have 3 movies and different qualities here. But other than that, that's about it. It's a new movie week.
We're
getting the job done.
It is rated R, only an hour and 28 minutes, this Leviticus movie, and directed by new director, as you said, Adrian Chiarella. I don't know if a lot of people know about this, but here it is, Leviticus, rated R horror film. Set it up. Tell us about Leviticus.
Yeah, well, Chiarella, this is his first out of the gate. He only tackles a handful of short films, actually going way back to 2014.
Oh.
And I don't know, I was kind of walking into this a little... I don't know, cynical. I'll be honest, when I saw the first trailer for this, I rolled my eyes twice over. The first was for the tone of, at least the trailer, not the film so much. The tone of the trailer really felt like the fake Oscar bait trailers they put in front of Tropic Thunder. Specifically the one where Robert Downey Jr. and Tobey Maguire play gay monks. Yeah. Just like a lot of how like the sensual shots.
What was that called? That's so fun.
I think it was like Devil's Alley or something like that.
Or Satan's Alley, maybe.
Satan's Alley, yeah. So then kind of the spin of
that's funny.
Gay, sensual, religious, mostly poking fun of it. It did kind of give me those vibes. The second eye roll was because this really looked like it was ripping off one of my favorite horror movies, It Follows. And listen, apparently that's getting a sequel after we get Flowervale Street later on. After that director dips into Dino territory. I don't know.
We'll see what we get. But They Follow is for sure happening.
Yeah.
And then it was the week Disaster Piece is back for the music.
Ooh, well, that's excellent.
Yeah,
that's an excellent sign. But that's where I was kind of cynical walking into this because it was just like, man, this really feels like a ripoff, like a spin ripoff of It Follows.
Yeah,
and not in a great way.
Right.
Real talk, this didn't have a lot going on for it beyond vibes, and if anything, I think this was working better in every department but its horror, making me think it should have just been combined with a different genre, like still have this core, forbidden kind of teen gay romance as the story, as the backbone. And just pair it a little bit differently because I think everything I had wrong with this movie connected to the horror piece of it. So, Leviticus is a forbidden high schooler romance and supernatural horror tied together by the satanic panic of its religious suburban setting. Set in an Australian gas town, teen youths are getting frisky everywhere, but some face a grim consequence for their action. Their lust turning into a spectral haunt that follows them as a reminder of their sins. A teen boy named Name really confused me throughout the entire movie.
His name is what?
Name, Naim.
It's terrible.
Yes, I don't know if that's we'll ask the Aussie listeners. His name. Really
I'm sure they'll donate in and let us know.
It's a real common name going around, but Name moves to one of these towns with his religious freak of a mother for no other reason to be kind of a part of a new flock of zealots. Name takes comfort in Ryan as one of the only normal teens in the church, but quickly sparks gay feelings that they both know won't fly in this hyper-religious town. Turns out repressed homosexual feelings are everywhere in this town. It's kind of running wild. And when Name rats on Ryan to the church in a fit of jealous rage, his punishment falls in the hands of the deliverance healer. Like a reverse exorcism, this twisted figure embodies Ryan with a spirit that will always follow him, and before you know it, this romance forces both boys into a same haunting predicament. Like I said, a lot of what this gets right is all in the romance. It's angsty, it's moody, it's teen. There's also just like some interesting atmosphere conjured in this story. It's this factory, refinery town. A lot of shots are just moody, crossing telephone wires. And there's this cool audio design that you always hear, like the factory constantly like booming in the background, like the oil refinery. Adds a lot to the atmosphere. It adds a lot to the mood that these two kind of lost teens are feeling. And I'll even say the chemistry between our two leads is pretty solid as well, especially when both social and supernatural elements are trying to drive them apart. All of this work towards a much stronger romance in the story than anything else, which I think is a win. But I was very frustrated around the horror logic of the story, and it took me out of the film in so many spots. I was just kind of like, okay. It was just like, all right. In the vein of the copycat trend with It Follows, but also because, it's just like, not a strong spot, not strong horror writing, and I have multiple direct comparisons this year to compare it to for it to be doomed by.
Yeah, no, definitely.
And unique horrors. I wouldn't call this exactly a monster movie, folks, but the rules of this haunting spirit are dumb. And delivered to the audience in much blander ways than I could have expected from the quality in other parts of the film. Second act, they kind of track down someone that has gone through this and is still going through this haunting, and it's just like, it's delivered in such a way, it was just like, okay, we got that done, second act exposition, I guess we're kind of gearing up for the end. It's just like, wow, this was really, really bland.
Yeah, not special at all.
Yeah.
But that's basically what the horror is. It's always a haunting. It's yes. Something kind of chasing them.
They see, almost in kind of a Body Snatchers vibe, they see who they lust after the most as this spirit. The spirit takes that form. So you're naturally kind of like drawn in to saying like, hey, and then turns out it's not them.
Right.
So the real issues, though, are questions I think any reasonable person would ask with watching this. Why aren't these angsty gay teenagers just running away from this town? I'm sure there's a lot more free-thinking towns in Australia that they can get to. Why is every character still going to the church long after we found out about this deliverance healer character? It's just like, and there's honestly, I want to say 4 more instances that we see this horrifying performance that the deliverance healer gives, and it's just like, we're still showing up with mom. What's going on? And it's like, what is happening here? Often these characters are still going to their parents to tell them about the horrors they're experiencing, like they're not a part of the problem, like they didn't hire this deliverance healer to, reverse kind of possess them with something. And it's where a lot of the supernatural stakes, they just mesh poorly with what the story is trying to be told about, the themes of these closeted feelings and what these characters are actually going through and the setting that they're going through it in. I just thought it was very weak, and I wish it just paired the same story paired with a different genre than horror. Any genre, How
did it do? I mean, with credits, you must have really only been watching it's an hour and 25 minutes, essentially.
Yeah, right. It's not long.
No, not at all.
Exactly. That's when we got the exposition dump in the second act. I was like, well, there's not much runway left. I guess we got to figure it out, Right. And it's a shame because this movie is getting a lot of praise online, probably just for kind of its inclusion and the focus of the story of these characters. I can't tell you, though, the problem was not the romance. The problem was almost like the second afterthought.
The blandness of the horror.
Yeah, the afterthought that the horror is. So I really walked out of this with a whatever feeling, though, and I don't love saying that about a new director's projects. I'd be interested to see what Chiarella does after this, something hopefully with a little bit more life. All the teens, they feel like they have no emotion, they have no edge to them. Maybe that's the reason why.
Pills and antidepressants. I mean. Maybe it's the most lifelike thing we've ever seen yet, is it?
Yeah, it's like maybe that's why they're just like kind of tagging along with mom to go to the crazy church again every Sunday. It just felt like
the excuse by the director would probably be, well, we're in such a small town. This is where you are. This is your whole life. You don't leave this town. People are born here and then they die here. This is our small town.
That's true. That's true. But I think just every roadblock placed in the way of our characters was explored in just the least interesting way possible. This does leave a lot of room for romantic scenes and central scenes, and once again, I think it's where it kind of worked best. I'll even say I really liked the final note, the very last note of the story that it kind of goes out on. But it just shouldn't have been horror, because the aspects that were in a horror genre were frustrating, weak, or just very clearly not the priority of the film. We're going to go ahead and give Leviticus a 52.
Oh, wow, 52? I'm a little surprised to hear it's above 50, to be honest about it.
Yeah, like I said, it's a vibes movie. It's a movie that conjures a certain type of feeling, and I think that's where all the positive reviews come from, if that mood, that atmosphere really hits for someone.
Yeah.
So.
When was the last time you read the book of Leviticus?
Never.
All right, so let's jump on. That is Leviticus with 52%. Again, I'm almost surprised it hit that strong. I'm going to be honest with you.
I think it's
because other than the internet, there's no one's talking about the film except if you search it out, and that's where you get the
true
critic reviews of it and such.
I do think it was well made, though. There was some vision behind, again, the mood and the atmosphere.
So the director itself might be interesting to see what he comes up with next.
Exactly. It was just like, get away from horror. This doesn't seem like it's your slot.
Did you get a chance to see who was the studio behind it?
This was Neon, actually.
It was Neon.
Yes.
Well, he might stay in that Neon thing. That could do actually wonders for him.
Yeah.
Because Neon usually hits pretty hard.
Yeah. And now saying it, I actually didn't, check out any of his short films. So maybe he was horror short films. Maybe those, again, he's been working since 2014.
We're not short film people.
No.
We just, I don't know if we don't have the time for it. They're so long. But, I mean, we're not the biggest short film people.
Yeah.
All right. So let's move on to, again, I've been waiting for this to come out, and I wanted to go see, just didn't have the time. Mm-hmm. Because the director is Michael Sarnowski, and the film is The Death of Robin Hood. Rated R, it's 2 hours long, featuring very heavily with Hugh Jackman. So
yeah, he's Robin Hood.
Here was, yes. My interest in this film. The director is the guy who did Pig.
Yes.
So obviously we have some skin in the game because we found that movie. We were delighted by that film.
Oh, yeah.
And he is coming out with the Death Stranding film.
Wait, it's him?
Yes, he's the director of the upcoming Death Stranding film. There's a lot riding on this guy.
No.
Okay.
All right, let me just say...
Now we know how thought about the movie,
exactly. No, let me just say this for the goddamn record. 3 movies I'm not looking forward to. Heat 2, the Elden Ring movie, and the Death Stranding movie. These are franchises that I just don't want to be touched. You know what I mean? I don't want them.
What if Death Stranding movie is cool as shit, though?
I think Death Stranding works on a visual level alone,
right?
Because it's just so out there.
Okay,
and stuff, but
listen, he's the guy.
Okay,
so there's that. There's a lot right on that.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
he's in. So, and then in other words, I like Hugh Jackman. I like grizzled Hugh Jackman.
Oh yeah,
I like this role. I like if it's a rinse and repeat of Logan, essentially. I'm kind of cool with it.
Yeah,
because I quite like Logan,
basically.
And I like Hugh Jackman in that Logan role. I also like a different kind of take or a different storyline on Robin Hood as well.
Sure,
this is like an aging Batman that's just sick of it and willing to
absolutely
bend the rules.
Late
little
era
bit.
Story,
right?
True.
That was my interest in this movie. But it finally came out to not a lot of avail. As you said, it's already getting kicked out of theaters, which is a bummer. But you did go see it. 2 hours and 2 minutes, Death of Robin Hood. Please set it up. Tell us about it.
Well, a little late to cover this, but it's something I think both of us would want.
It came out 2 weeks ago. It's not that late.
That's a great point.
It's not that late to be covered.
And such a demonstration of how much of a nightmare it is to keep a slot in a movie theater these days, But I think, like you said, you were interested in it, I was interested in it, and it was primarily for our director in the chair, Michael Sarnowski. We've kept pace with him all throughout the podcast. Like you said, 2020 2021's Pig.
Yeah.
Real hidden gem. 2024's Quiet Place Day 1.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, pretty good.
73%.
Yeah, pretty good.
Quiet Place Day 173, get Pig at 78.
Yeah, exactly. So, like, this is a director that we've, followed with the entire time of the podcast, but, like, I think a director of quality, you know?
Yeah.
And a lot of that comes from him doing the writing for his projects. It was sad to see that this movie was dead on arrival. Critics were giving this a lot of buzz for its dark reimagining. A24 producing another movie out of their wheelhouse was kind of exciting. It turns out this is the most A24 movie we've gotten in a long time. Long time.
Oh, okay. Wasn't
This
expecting
one's
that.
slow and brooding and really dark at times.
I was expecting that. Okay.
But as Sarnowski's third film, it shows that he's only gaining momentum in his projects that he's writing and directing, you know, all in one spot.
Yeah. It seemed like I was picking up Pig vibes.
Yes.
And that I'm cool with.
Yeah, and definitely how the story evolves like Pig.
Yeah.
Not into, you know, he's
not
becoming a, you know, in the restaurant biz
Right.
or anything like that.
But what Pig does to you, for those of you who haven't seen it, I don't know if a lot of people have, but that Nick Cage movie, it does kind of like, it beats you down, it grinds you down and gets you dirty and just keeps on dragging you through it.
Yeah.
And yet you're there for kind of every moment.
Yeah.
And you're there for the end of it, but it does a little bit dark, a little bit slow, a little bit brooding for sure. But for some reason, you're okay to be there.
Yeah. And I think the key to this and key to Pig, maybe even Quiet Place Day 1, even though it's in like kind of a franchise position, an unusual amount of heart by the end. I think Sarnowski, as a writer, is able to really give us like a crazy amount of depth when it comes to the dark moments in the film, but also like really earn the kind moments in his movies.
Out of simplicity, because even just with the premise of Pig, this guy just wants to get his pig back, and like people are just like, because pigs find truffles, and it's like, this is how this guy finds truffles.
Yep.
And he doesn't need the pig for truffles at all. He just like likes this pig. And then even with Quiet Place Day 1,
it was the cat.
What's the big search? Oh, the cat. I was going to say it's more so, let's go get our last slice of New York pizza.
Oh, that's right.
Before like the world. Right? Before the world comes crashing down.
Yes, it was a kind of a
simple and cute, and yet it's
oddly cute.
Yeah,
in the circumstances, and sometimes this hits on that. Maybe not cute, I would say, but I would say definitely heartwarming and kind at the heart, despite being so incredibly dark. And I really mean that. The Death of Robin Hood is. Get ready for it. It's a deconstruction of the classic story. Certainly aims to demystify the fabled character and is not dicking around because holy shit was this violent. Like, really violent.
Oh, excellent.
Probably the most violent film I've seen of the year. Less Obsession, you know? Because, you know, that's outright horror. But taking place between 1247 England, the once protector of the meek is now old and broken, seeing himself as nothing more than a lucky brigand that's gotten by over the years. While Hugh Jackman might not fit the look of the dashing rogue that we associate with Robin Hood, quickly you see how different this version of Robin Hood has become because of life choices, because of what he's had to shoulder over the time. With a lifetime of enemies to haunt him, a Machiavellian cycle of revenge forces Robin Hood into an endless survival against the lives he's changed. But for both himself and his victims, he must let go of the guilt built around his legend. In a nutshell, you hit it on the head, Tom. The movie is Logan meets Robin Hood.
Yeah.
Which
sounds great. I'm not kidding. Like, it sounds
I'm glad you're in the corner on that. Yeah, because I'm in that corner as well. This movie's gotten some flack because of that comparison, but it's just like,
I don't give a shit.
know. I think that's kind of great. And you got it's not like you didn't get Hugh Jackman to stick the landing of that, you know?
Yes.
So you have the guy, you know, you have Wolverine. You know, I think that comparison is floating around online, again, used as almost a backhand to this movie. I also do think it's a little bit too much of a reduction, but because there's a lot that goes on here that's special in small moments, but it's something that definitely didn't leave my mind while watching. So if that works for you folks, you want Logan Meets Robin Hood, I think you're really, like, this is an absolute, watch to check out.
Okay.
But maybe, if that comparison doesn't strike your excitement, then maybe that's an indicator of the opposite. Early reviews to come out about this complained about the level of gore, explaining that it was just too dark for a Robin Hood story and that its violence was unearned. Respectfully, I have no idea what the hell people are talking about with this. Yes, there is like I said, not dicking around with the level of gore and violence and hyper-violence here, but this was a dream come true for brutal, dark fantasy to come to life on screen. And all of it was geared towards the focus of the story, showing this cycle and toll of revenge. I think a better critique is that this doesn't feel remotely like Robin Hood at all, and even though it's trying to tell this kind of deconstructed version of the story, but the hyper-violence in this was far from the issue. If anything, being heavier in the first half where we need to understand the brutality of Robin Hood continuing to exist. And stylistically, I was in love with the atmosphere and the mood of the film.
How did it look? It's shot on film, by the way.
Great.
Yeah.
Excellent. Like I said already, this might be the most A24 slow burn we got in a while, but that played into some very heavy moments that fits together nicely with violence and all. Like for people, or at least critics, saying that like the violence is unearned, I totally disagree in the sense that it might be shocking at first, but it's not unearned in the sense that there's no impact after the fact. Robin Hood is so tortured by every single action he takes, and if anything, that picks the scab on every action he's taken before. And the slowness plays into giving that violence weight and earning its place in the movie, not just moving on in a John Wick way of just like crazy kill and then another crazy kill.
Because what you're essentially saying is just like, here we have new characters, new bosses come up.
A little bit.
Yeah, remnants of his past.
Yep.
And yet, even though he feels so guilty for the things he might have done, he still needs to continue to survive.
Exactly.
So then he does evil or does bad,
Yep.
and then that's weight and heavy, and then the next one comes. I think I would like this movie.
I think you would too. I liked it.
I don't like what people are saying about it. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's maybe a case where the violence is, let me not downplay it now, is going to be so much at times and so heavy in the first half that it might just turn people off in the sense of just like, I don't need to watch any more, and maybe they turned away from it entirely. But again, I urge anyone to check this out of like, yes, the violence is heavy, but it maybe doesn't earn the run up to it, the ramp up to it. It shocks you first and instead kind of explores it in the ramp down.
Okay. Lets you bleed out. Okay. How much girl heavy are we here?
Jodie Comer.
It's child star.
Oh,
is he with this girl? Like, that's the whole Logan vibe, correct?
A little bit. That's maybe where the Logan vibe departs. He does have someone he kind of takes under his wing, but there's also multiple characters like that.
Okay. So
that kind of latch onto him for what Robin Hood they've heard of, and then they discover
I got you.
A very different person.
I thought, so we're not really worried about how good is this kid actress or not.
No.
Okay.
If anything,
I like Jodie Comer, by the way, as far as a lead, a female lead.
Yeah, I'm a bit iffy. I always think back to kind of like the damage she did in like The Bike Riders and whatnot to kind of derail that movie. But I'm with you. Jodie Comer's good in this.
That's harsh. That's a little harsh. But
she derailed that movie. But she was good in this. She was good. What I was most impressed with, though, is Sarnowski. There we go. His writing once again, as this was a small story, but one with a laser focus on themes trying to be explored. Unlike our comic book movie released this week, this story has meditations on revenge that kind of take their time, and every slow moment that is used to reestablish the mood of this world. There's a line in the film, I don't have the exact quote down, but it's like, in this world, you can only take blood, and the world only gives back blood. And a lot of meditations on that, a lot of like characters characters kind of ruminating on that, the movie is constantly just refolding in on itself and refocusing and lasering in on that. Nearly every character is carrying a heavy weight on their soul in this, and you can feel how acting performances were given just time to breathe and let audiences really absorb this theming. It's also the type of script where just, once again, every ounce of it is geared around this central theme, at times maybe feeling a bit predictable after a while, but worth it because of how tight this whole package was at the end. There's also an emphasis on scenes that would otherwise be probably cut if Sarnowski wasn't filling the role as writer and director. There's a near-death scene that is done that's very trippy, takes its time. Awesome, though, visually.
Okay.
He
makes good-looking movies.
Yeah, really stunning to watch. And as far as the badass aspects go, really amazing, you know what I mean? Like lives up to the Logan comparison as far as wow, Hugh Jackman is a badass once again, you know? There's an early, like the first, person to try to come and kill him, and that he has some beef with, back in the day, or actually specifically doesn't remember who he's killed, which is a lot of what this movie focuses on. He completely reverses the attempt on her, stabs her in the neck, and he's like, "Smelled you on the wind. You should have bathed before." It's just like, whoa, this is so badass. But all over the film are confident moments that take their time because they're informed and they're justified by a strong focus on that storytelling. A great example of this is the first time Robin Hood fletches an arrow after getting injured, and the gravity, mood, and theming of all of this in the scene is just dialed in and never rushed, you know what I mean? And that's why I feel like, A24 slow burn, that could be kind of a backhanded compliment in itself, was definitely working in this regard.
Wow. My biggest concern was seeing that this was over 2 hours, thinking that it was going to be just too draggy, too long, and not worth it.
Sure.
But it kind of sounds like it had a little bit of magic to it.
Yeah, absolutely. Because I was hooked enough by its slow burn aspects. I was hooked by the slow moments.
If you're saying that, I like that.
Yeah. You can probably tell with my description, though, that this is very somber, very violent, and very slow, like we were just talking about. But much like the surprises that Pig had in store in its second half, there is a subversion on what you expect, with moments of kindness and moments of heart, which only continues the kind of comparison to Logan as well. If you enjoy a tight script, though, this has to be a film that you check out this year, as every ounce of this tries to explore the idea of revenge, and I can't think of a better actor than Hugh Jackman to pull that off, because he's done it so many times already. We're going to go ahead and give The Death of Robin Hood a 74.
A 74%?
Yeah.
This is fantastic.
Really
I've got to see this. And I'm really kind of sorry I didn't go see it in theaters now. This is totally going to be a catch-up episode for me.
Yeah.
At least for the end of the year. But I want to see this basically as soon as it comes out on streaming. Because it sounds
really
like I won't be able to go see it in theaters.
No. It was down to one showing when I went to it.
Really happy we had this on the list.
Yeah, I am too.
Excellent.
Sad we couldn't do it with Sheep Detective.
But I love it's on Prime. We can cover that when we want then. That's no problem there. The Death of Robin Hood with a 74%. Okay. Well, listen, folks, don't forget, if you are enjoying the daily ratings just as much as Vin was pleasantly surprised by The Death of Robin Hood, please do remember that we are completely listener-supported here. We are producer-supported. The daily ratings, we're not going to have any advertising breaks constantly on the podcast here, where we're taking ad breaks up left and right. There's not going to be even pop-up ads, banner ads, and things like that on the website. We want a clean experience, a good experience. And although all this stuff that we give you is technically free, because here it is, and you can listen every single week, it's also not free because we have a lot of up costs, monthly and yearly. And it's a big time dedication at that. So please do remember that we are completely supported by those of you who send donations into the daily ratings. And when you do, you become an actual legitimate producer of the daily ratings. Just like in Hollywood, when you financially support a project, you're a producer of the project. And that's how we're doing it here. So you head to thedailyratings.com and go to the donations tab. Everything is listed on that page. There's some set donations. Buy Vin a movie ticket, Space Odyssey, Gum Club, Become a Godfather. But then there's the big value for value button there. And that's our model here, value for value. Are you finding what we're doing here valuable? Are you listening to the podcast, whether it's every week or once a month, once every other month? Are you checking out the website, seeing if a movie is worth a watch, or if you're wondering what to watch? And most of all, are you into film more, into movies more than before you were listening to us? We look at that as value in your pocket. Can you send us value back in our pocket? It is the value for value way. So again, the big value for value button there, right on the donations tab, and it's whatever amount. Everyone's on their own finances, and everybody's week to week is different. Are we worth that $5 to $8 that you would spend on your latte? It's $10, not that much. It's $50 or $100, not that much to you. That's why we leave it up to you, because everybody is on their own finances, and everybody's getting a little bit different value from each other person. So you make the call, and you send in whatever you want. When you do donate in, you become an actual, like I said, official credited producer of the Daily Ratings. And with that, we want to hear from you. We want to bring you into the conversation. Do you have anything you want to ask us? Say to us, add to a conversation, start a conversation. Write in and send in a producer note. So please do email us at tom.vin@thedailyratings.com. That's our email address. And if you're going to donate, if you're going to be a producer, we really do want to hear your producer note. So we will address that, read it right here on the Producer Thanks segment. If you want to be anonymous, just say that in your note, and we'll keep you anonymous. It's that simple. Again, head on over to thedailyratings.com, and please stop by that donations tab. I don't know, maybe I've been saying it more lately, like all the up costs we have. Just July in general is a very expensive month for us as a lot of the annual stuff rolls through and some big stuff that we have to do.
Ooh, you remind me, I got to cancel my Disney Plus subscription from
there
Toy
you go.
Story.
Don't forget. Don't forget about that, Vin, because then they'll lock you in.
Yeah. Roll in Hulu and then ESPN. And, yeah.
But anyway, again, that's how we're doing it here. It really does mean the world to us. We want to hear from you. We want to build the Daily Ratings family and just build this producership. So if you want to be a producer, if you just want to support the Daily Ratings at all, hey, tell a friend about us for sure, but also stop by that donations tab on thedailyratings.com. Okay, Vin, let's go ahead. This was the big one of the week. It did not have the weekend at all. I think the opening weekend for Supergirl was $38 million. If it got double that, it would be relatively an okay weekend for the film.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Kind of breaking.
It would be
maybe not, but not really. Even.
Right, like acceptable, sure.
Yeah.
The fact that it's got $38 million, it's not great. It was getting tracked lower and lower in the coming 3 weeks before this came out.
Yeah, we were talking about this. It was just like it kept on getting worse.
So talk
Feels
about
like the PR around this.
Talk about the writing on the wall.
Yeah.
And yet it is the second big push from the James Gunn
DCU.
Now third push of the DCU that we're rebranding. So last summer, we had Superman, which was a success. I said this before, I argue they wish it was a bigger success.
Oh, sure.
Like a $1 billion plus success.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's a little over 700,000 or 700 million. But regardless, this was the second film. I always thought it was super. I don't know.
Who was asking for this?
Who was asking for this? And you do Superman, don't back it up right away with Supergirl. Go and grab one of your other big IPs and roll off of it.
Even just for the variety of like kind of how these action sequences are done.
Cares about Supergirl? Not really anybody.
Yeah.
And I hate this. I mean, right? I mean, who's all jumping up and down for Supergirl? So.
Right. If anything, it's an intentional poke the bear of the plenty of haters of this current DCU, whether that be old school Snyder Bros,
of course,
or people
out
that
for blood.
Yeah, exactly. Kind of an incel crowd that just don't want anyone, any female leading, any of these aspects. It's just like, why is this your second attempt?
I say have her in there and let her fall in love with the character, write the character well, and let us say she needs her own movie.
Right.
And instead you're just like, no, Superman, Supergirl, that's how we're doing it. And then, this $40 million Clayface coming up, which might be the best film of the three.
Yeah, we'll see.
Anyway, jump into it, Supergirl. Tell us about it.
Well, here we are, a year later after James Gunn's Superman and the restructure of the DCU with nothing really happening at all. I feel like this was a real big flash in the pan. Sure, we got a good trailer for both Lanterns and Clayface, but not only has the hype died down for this reboot, some people think this was all a sham to begin with. What's driving this thought is around $110 billion. And the speculation from fans that even though Gunn's intentions might be pure here leading the new push, the real reason the DCU was rebooted was a pump-and-dump tactic to inflate the studio's value with new buzz, the studio being Warner Brothers.
That being, you're not saying that for sure. You're saying that's the talk of the town right now.
That's the speculation.
Right.
That's the speculation. Yeah, Warner Brothers, don't send us a cease and desist. God knows they're lawyered up. Only time will tell, though, if Gunn's big 10-year plan amounts to anything at all. But for now, we have this second entry in establishing a comic universe that will serve as a foundation for anything he hopes to accomplish, not to mention another year-long wait for its next entry, which will be Superman Man of Tomorrow. If anything, springboarding right off of what you're saying of just like, why are we not getting a little bit more variety in our opening act, the opening starting bench, of like, give us a little sample of the DCU. We're so heavy on Superman, which could be argued that is the most important piece of it, but...
Sure, it's Superman. Also, come on, we got to flesh some stuff out here.
Yeah, exactly.
And then, of course, we've got the Batman's coming out as well.
Yeah, we have... that's
Batman Part 2.
Batman Part 2, but also Batman Brave and the Bold, which is going to be a concurrent Batman offering. Brave and the Bold is the one in the DCU, so it's not looking good. People, I bring this up, though, the pump and dump speculation aside, people have lost steam with this idea, where there was a lot of excitement with what James Gunn was doing, a lot of brand faith in him as a director and as like a real comic book nerd, but I feel like all the steam is already gone, and we're only second year into it.
Does that surprise you?
And there's nothing else to support that second year besides Supergirl.
Clayface. Yeah. Can I say I might watch Lanterns? I might watch it.
Listen, I like the elevator pitch. It's True Detective meets Green Lanterns.
Well, and isn't it Aaron Pierre and our boy, Nathan Fillion, is it not?
No, not Nathan Fillion. It is another guy.
It's one of my boys, though, right?
Is he one of your boys?
I think it's one of my boys.
Well, Aaron Pierre.
Oh, my God, it's Kyle Chandler. Yeah, I'm watching Lanterns. Kyle Chandler and Aaron Pierre, absolutely. Anyway, I am not surprised by the boom that airs out of the balloon already.
Yes.
Because, just look at Marvel. It's just that we've had it since 2008. We're dry.
Yeah, exactly.
Nothing feels new. Nothing feels interesting, and your CGI looks the exact same as it has.
Yeah.
And it's not impressive anymore.
Exactly. And that's what I mean, like, regardless of what the source of this hype is, I don't think they struck while the iron's hot enough. You know what I mean? We needed to, like, almost be bombarded to stick with that, so...
or have, like, a Nolan-esque different kind of storytelling. What
just
Nolan,
more of a traditional
what Nolan
trilogy?
did with No. What Nolan did to Batman.
Okay.
This is an adult movie.
Okay, right. There's
That's
a transformation of how it feels.
Yeah.
True. Supergirl 2026 is a space action romp that loosely is based off of the recent award-winning comic book Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow. With the emphasis on loosely. If anything, to answer your question, Tom, of like why Supergirl, this is apparently a very great comic book, but they have kind of doomed themselves because it doesn't really follow the comic book for what it's really about for Supergirl's arc, which has only kind of angered fans that were going to be diehard fans of this otherwise even further. So, Millie Alcock plays Kara, a.k.a. Supergirl, an angsty Kryptonian who has a different outlook on life than her Earthbound cousin. She parties, she drinks, she travels to red sun systems to intentionally lose her powers, but most of all, she stays a loner with her dog Krypto. Space pirates plague the galaxy, though, forcing her to rise to her true potential. Kind of makes you wonder where are the Green Lanterns if the space pirates are so running rampant. You know what I mean? I think that's the Green Lantern's job to be the cops of space. So it's like, what's going on here? Krem of the Yellow Hills is a ruthless warlord, constantly creating blood feuds, kind of like Robin Hood. And most recently, a young girl named Ruthie is next in line. Kara is just as disinterested as ever until her dog gets shot with some poison that only Krem has the antidote to. And folks, if that doesn't sound as cliche as possible, I don't know what would. Krypto also has a 72-hour clock to get cured that's put on him, and Krem carries this antidote around his neck on a necklace. I mean, it's the most blatant MacGuffin I think I've ever come across. Even it was just like, wow. I mean, like, she can't be driven to go after this guy for sense of right or the connection with the kid or anything. It's just like, oh, gotta get this.
John Wick, you hurt my dog.
Yeah, but gotta get this antidote to save the dog. It's just so cliche. What this results in, though, is a space adventure that constantly pumps the brakes to give us backstory we never wanted and hand-fisted messages about revenge to kind of avoid the inevitable ass-whooping that comes with our title character, and honestly, something I will forget about promptly after this review. The keep-away that this plays with a character like Supergirl is unacceptable, honestly, from a nerd perspective, but also just from like a satisfying blockbuster perspective. Like
her powers, you don't.
Yeah,
they keep them.
Okay, first act, she's party mode. She's going to red sun planets, so she doesn't get the yellow sun to give the power for Superman. You know, in Supergirl,
right?
So we're gonna do it. Gotta do a crash course on Kryptonian physiology again. Second act, she kind of gets her powers, but it gets, she's now takes the kid under her wing. I mean, this is, trying to be Logan more and more. And then the final act, it's keep away she has to not get her powers. She gets tricked into something I'll talk about in a second. And then it's for the slam bam finish of just like, oh, and she's got her powers back and she's wearing the costume. It's just like, so like, why would you keep away with your own fun with this premise, your own fun with this, why adapt this character at all? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The level of power to Supergirl is like Superman, if not more in certain parts. And it's just like, wow, it's so unsatisfying. So unsatisfying.
When does this take, I don't know if this is a dumb question or not. When does this take a place in relation to the Superman movie? Is this
directly after.
Okay, directly after the events.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe a little wonky with like what's going on with like her being in space and time travel, or not time travel, but like light speed and whatnot. But
after, because Superman kind of ends. There's that end scene, right, where she comes back and she's like hungover.
She picks up Crypto.
Okay, gotcha.
Yep, and so we're seeing her hang out with Crypto basically and party. As our first look into the DCU's take on space, stylistically, this could not be messier. It was shocking to me how small scenes felt, how small settings felt in the film, and how nothing of what we saw inspired any excitement in a science fiction story. Constantly, choices are made stylistically that feel disconnected and flippant. I thought the world building was just so painfully bland in this, and painful because it was a far cry from how wonderful Gunn's Superman was at throwing us in the deep end. If there is one reason to check out that movie, it's just like, wow, we are just like thrown into the deep end of what a superhero story, what a big paperback comic book really feels like. You know what I mean? What a whole big issue of a comic, a collection of comics feels like. You're just like thrown in, and there's so many heroes and monsters and whatnot. It achieves us an authenticity in that movie. Here, it's like, okay, it's like, are we in a super world at all? The uninspired first look at Krypton was very disappointing. There's a general blandness to just like the space tech around us, and nearly everything here can be chalked up to a been there, done that, whether it's by James Gunn's Guardians of the Galaxy or just like general blockbuster nonsense. You know what I mean?
This is not good though, because they're trying to set this up, as you said, well, now for the next 9 years. Yeah. And we want to get the feel right. We want this to look good. Yeah, and that's why I'm focusing so much on the sci-fi element of this, because this is supposed to give us the first glance at Krypton, for instance. Because Superman was so last year, so earthbound. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So this is the first time we're seeing what the actual galaxy in this DCU looks like, stylistically, thematically. It's a great point, Vin. And there's just nothing here. There's nothing here that inspires, and it just feels like, okay, There's nothing to care about. Yeah, exactly. I cut it, but I'm kind of gearing up to say, like, Snyder did a better job with Krypton than this movie, and that's not a bone you want to throw to the Snyder Bros. You don't want to give them anything at all. Certainly not any kind of reboots, of the Snyderverse that's been buzzing around. You don't want to give them a bone on Snyder doing something better than the current DCU. So, and unfortunately, they have that bone because Krypton was like so bland and like it's just like Roman Greco, and there's nothing sci-fi about it, and CGI quality. I mean, if you had to rate it, passable.
Passable.
Okay.
Not. There was nothing
terrible.
here that. No. I wouldn't say terrible. It was passable. There was nothing here that, if anything, Gunn Superman was a little bit more ballsy with like the weird like chest shots of him flying and whatnot. There was nothing even like that.
Okay.
They play it very safe. Our main bad guy Krem slightly earns his menace on screen because he's just like really a truly senseless, chaotic force. So that's something good. But it's where the bones of this story just genuinely suck. Like suck. This antidote MacGuffin dangling around his neck. I cannot tell you of just like, oh my God, you really couldn't think of anything else. One, the cop out of injuring the dog to get some empathy from the audience. Two, he has the only antidote in the galaxy around his neck. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? This is insulting script writing. All I'm saying is that you shouldn't have to force a space adventure. You shouldn't have to force it. It should be effortless, honestly.
That's really good, Vince.
And this film seems so disinterested in doing something unique, as Kara is doing anything besides doing something interested and just getting drunk. Now, one bright spot. A lot of chatter around this is around Jason Momoa. Jason Momoa was previously Aquaman. He's now recast in this. Folks, recasts are usually kind of an awkward thing in these comic book movies. Chris Evans being a perfect example, being Human Torch, and then really big role of Captain America.
Well, how about the big one coming up with Robert Downey Jr.?
Oh, sure.
The biggest of all.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, that's a very awkward recast.
At least it's Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah.
I mean, here we have Jason Momoa.
Well, this is where I'll sing a little bit of praises for the film, because Jason Momoa as Aquaman, whatever.
Right, sure. Yeah,
Who cares? The fact that he got 2 movies is unbelievable. I mean, think about it. Aquaman got 2 movies before a single Flash movie, any presence of a Green Lantern movie, any Martian Manhunter content. Like, crazy. Don't get me started. Momoa, however, is born to play Lobo. Lobo is a fan favorite character people have been asking for a very, very, very long time, and he's really born to play him. I mean, I don't think of a more perfect casting for Lobo.
Well, then I'll take any. Okay, they fit him in an appropriate slot.
Exactly.
Well, good for them.
Yeah, Lobo is this interstellar mercenary that is thrown into the story because of the space pirate theming, and it's not exactly a great showing for him. I feel like he really needed better action moments, maybe even just the focus of being a full second lead in the Supergirl movie, which is goes to show what I think about Supergirl in this. But I fully blame the movie and not him. I think this character should have been a breath of life every time he's on screen, and he kind of is, but gets pushed to the back burner for fan service later on. I think the silver lining is that Lobo's inclusion might have some prospects down the road. We'll see. Really, the exact same criticism, though, goes to Millie Alcock as well, because this structure of this story is just constantly hobbling this character on cool, fun, or exciting moments on screen. Let me be clear. None of what I'm saying rolls into the backlash online against her, whether it's like she's, the wrong casting, or, they don't want a female-led superhero movie. None of this is where I'm at with it. But for real, she just wasn't a good actress.
She's just not good.
Yeah, she's not. I didn't check out House of Dragon or whatever the hell she was in.
Right.
She's not a good actress. I'm sorry, and this was not it.
And how do you get through the process? This is a big thing when you try to reboot a DCU once again for a third time.
Right.
I just feel like where's the filtering process?
Yeah, I mean, if anything,
I hear she's okay on that show, by the way. Believe it or
House
not.
of Dragon. Oh, sure.
Apparently, she's all right.
Sure. I mean, I think if anything against the main criticism of like she's not a good casting for Supergirl, I think she is a good casting for Supergirl, especially the story where there is like this like angsty version of the character.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? It's a youthful, punky version of the character.
So she looks the part, can't play the part.
Can't play the
Gotcha,
part.
gotcha.
Can't act the way of a paperback, honestly. The movie beats you over the head with her characterization too. I can only stand her waking up with like crooked sunglasses so many times. Like, it beats you over the head of just like, oh, look how messy she is.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? It's just like, enough. This isn't even good acting to get this across to me. Like,
trying to be Bradley Cooper in The Hangover.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's just like, enough. Like, this is stupid. This is like the amount of time. I want to say 4 times she wakes up with like crooked sunglasses, and it's like, oh, okay. Ridiculous. The movie just beats you over head with it. They also layer her backstory about Krypton into the second act, and it is just a terrible slowdown on this movie. This movie is under 2 hours.
It's an hour and 45 minutes.
They should have no problems with pacing. This movie was like so painful in parts. And I think worst of all, like I said already, they play keep away with her powers. And the fact that we have to wait until the very end to see a fraction of what she can do is unacceptable and deeply unsatisfying for any construction of how you construct a superhero blockbuster. Why are you not giving us the goods? We get more scenes of her telling us how lost she is in life or how she's partying. No, I don't need that. I got, like, one was good.
Yeah.
One was good, and maybe you got to do the Krypton flashback, but you know, this movie is not giving nerds any reason not to hate it. There's a real big reason in the sense that it's like a deeply unsatisfying superhero movie, period, because of how it plays keep away with like what you want to see.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And again, a far cry from the praise of James Gunn's Superman, where the very first scene, he is in full effect.
Yes.
You know?
You're 3 years in, and they really did throw you in. Literally mid-battle sequence, essentially.
Yeah. So in that sense, this is like a significant step backwards in like the type of offerings that we're getting from this. So I'll end with this, folks. One of the stupider subplots in this really highlights the issue of this movie and how it wastes time and what little time it has. This is under 2 hours. Like, what are you doing? There's a point where Supergirl gets tricked and ends up on a green sun planet, which basically acts like kryptonite and kind of makes her comatose. The way she gets trapped with this is that she has a literal bag placed over her head. And then in the same scene, we reestablish that she has X-ray vision. So why she would not, in transit of intergalactic systems, possibly take a peek at where she might be going to the bad guy's hideout, and if this was Green Sun was going to like practically kill her, like why would she not avoid that? Like it is. It's really,
very good, Finn. I'm glad you're picking up on what they're.
It's really shit. It's really shit. It's unreal. So many moments, countless moments in this story are like this, though, just as contrived and straight up lame as possible. The antidote MacGuffin, the no revenge morals just to do it anyway, the forced needle drops to shove down a kind of a chick punk soundtrack. She gets these like youth pastor check-in calls from Superman throughout the film that are just like ridiculous. Like they look terrible, they are terrible. Like they're more mollassive for the pacing. Like it's just like, cut him out.
So that's where Corn Sweat comes in.
Yes.
Okay.
He really does these like, hey, how's it going? You know, he's so goody two shoes. If anything, that was like a slight highlight just to see him again, because I do like his depiction of Superman. So much of this, just like, wow, not it. And all of it was just a total and complete waste of time that will just amount to nothing down the road. We're going to go ahead and give Supergirl 2026 a 30 on the dot.
Oh, I like this score a lot. Wow,
yeah.
30%. Beautiful, beautiful, wonderful.
Yeah.
Thank you for going to see it.
Uninspired garbage. Sorry. Still had some gas in the tank.
I mean, here's the thing. I can't say I'm surprised, because the lead up for this thing for weeks and months was leading to this 30%. You know what I mean?
Yep. And if
it's
anything,
such a shame, but everything, I mean, people were pissed about her. People were pissed about, the casting of her.
Yep.
People were mad about how it looks. People were mad about this, that, the other thing. Like, what are you doing? It's bland, it's blots, and it came to fruition with the 30%. That's what that is.
Yeah, if anything, the general temperature on this is that it's more like, oh, it's just it's a bland superhero movie like Falcon and Winter Soldier, or Captain America: Brave New World.
Yeah, we got you.
Or sorry. Get my wires crossed. But like any of these like clearly optional offerings that we've gotten from Marvel or DC.
Yeah.
I think it's much worse though, because like it fails on a fundamental level. It fails on a level of just like, again, not anything that people are talking about, casting, or the internet is raging about, it fails of just like a movie that doesn't understand what its strengths are and is burdened with everything that aren't its strengths.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, and the thing is, you know me, I have not been a James Gunn fan.
Oh, sure.
Basically ever.
Right.
And just that this is the second film, the second project in your big
It's a stumble.
decades-long plan. It's not just a stumble, man. It's almost...
It's falling on your face.
Poetic at times. But listen, okay, looking at these scores, anything else to touch on, add to, highlight for this week, talk about next week, roll credits, what do you want to do here?
Well, let's talk about next week. Next week, we have Minions 3, which is... I guess I'm covering.
You covered the last Minions film.
Right.
Whether you like to or not, you're the
skin
guy.
In the game. But we are starting as if we couldn't choose anything to mash more worse.
When in doubt, baby. When in doubt.
With Minions, we were doing John Wayne July.
Yeah, the Duke is in the room.
Yeah, the Duke is literally in the room, folks.
Actually, yeah.
When we finally do live show, you're gonna see the Duke constantly.
No. So we are starting off. And we've got a big John Wayne list.
Yep.
We had a little powwow about it last week, and we've decided that we are going to cover the Howard Hawks Rio Bravo trilogy.
Yes. And this is not a trilogy in the sense of like continuity. This is just like a director's trilogy.
Yes.
Yeah.
And kind of purposely done. Not one of the stuff where after he did it, it was retrofitted as a trilogy.
Right. It was a little bit more intended.
Right. In his Rio Bravo was first, and then he goes, well, people like that, so then we did El Dorado, which is basically the same thing. He goes, and then we tried to do it a third time again because people liked it. So, and honestly, I love the first two films a lot.
Yeah.
And we're covering both of them next week?
I think so. Just because July is a little crowded, want to get those in. So, yeah, definitely probably doing those first two.
Okay. That's a big episode next week then. Like, Rio Bravo alone is known as
Minions 3?
It's one of his best films. It's Quentin Tarantino's one of his best favorite films.
Oh, okay.
But Rio Bravo, I would say consistently top, like, 3... at least top 5 of John Wayne, of what people consider from him.
Yeah, I'm definitely excited to check it out.
And we've got Dean Martin, of course, in there. You haven't seen it in years, and you've never seen El Dorado.
No.
With our boy Robert Mitchum now.
Wait, is Rio Bravo rated?
I want to say yes.
Oh, really?
I don't know.
Don't know. Well, yeah, really excited for it. Hopefully... July's a little chaotic. We may spill over into August like we've done in the last couple of years with John Wayne July or just kind of Western July. But hoping to fit in some other Westerns outside of John Wayne as well that we've talked about because I have both lists kind of growing with that whenever I come across something kind of interesting. So hopefully we'll be able to kind of get some different perspective because there's so many Westerns that are out in the ether in cinema history that I'm really curious of just like how that evolves and over time. So
I love it, and you put a good list together. We're not going to obviously get to everything this summer, but that's why there's multiple summers for the future. We have some good Westerns coming up. Rio Bravo not rated, by the way.
Oh, good.
Excited to get a stamp on that, and El Dorado I'm excited for you to see for the first time.
Yeah,
that'll be for next week, folks. Vin, thank you so much for watching these films, getting to the theater 3 times this week. And appreciate you stopping by this evening. Folks at home, we'll run it down one more time. We have Leviticus with a 52%. We then have The Death of Robin Hood with a 74%. Nice little surprise of the week. And Supergirl is sitting pretty with a 30%. Folks, it's always a blast every single week. I'll be back here on Tuesday for the new show, and we'll have Vincent Daly back here in the chair next Thursday on the Daily Ratings Podcast. And hey, if you enjoyed the podcast, if you would, give us a good rating or get the word out and tell a friend about us. And just a reminder that the Daily Ratings is completely producer-supported. We want to stay away from advertising, and we don't want to have any paywalls or tier structures or subscriptions. It's all just value for value. So, are you finding value in what we're doing here at the Daily Ratings? Then become a producer and donate whatever amount of value that is. Just go to the donations tab on thedailyratings.com. And while you're there, be sure to check out the massive amount of films that Vince has rated. So thanks so much, everybody. We'll see you next time on the Daily Ratings Podcast.